Hi everyone, this is drawninjakc on day 35 of the 100 days of sketching, and today's prompt is Creepie Crawlies. Now, I don't know what you were expecting, but I definitely wasn't going to draw bugs and spiders, but rather I am going for the coolest crawler, the coolest wall crawler there is in the face of the planet, and that is Spider-Man. And what I'm about to say is going to shock you. Even when I said it to myself, it shocked me, but I have never drawn Spider-Man before. It's a reality that I just had to come to when I was drawing Spider-Man, that I really never remember ever drawing a Spider-Man picture before. So you are witnessing my first attempt at drawing Spider-Man. This is history in the making right here. And with my first attempt, I'm just going to go through my procedure right here, whereas I usually start with a light sketch, which I did, and then I go in with the shadows. And my usual procedure is to just go in with the shadows and then do the cross hatching along with the shadows and do the spikes and things like that while I'm doing everything. But for some reason, maybe it's because the first time I'm drawing Spider-Man, I just wanted to take a simpler approach and just start with the shadows first, with the deep shadows, and then put in the little shading spikes on the tip of the shadows and get the shadows in, and then go in with the cross hatching, which is, I guess, a careful approach to take to Spider-Man, because I think one of the reasons I've never drawn Spider-Man before was because of those webs. Although Spider-Man is an awesome looking character and you just have so much potential with him, those webs always get in the way. And the thing about Spider-Man's web is, like, there's a certain way you have to draw them. If you don't draw them a certain way, then it does not look like Spider-Man, like 100%. It does not look like Spider-Man if you don't draw them a certain way. So I had to make sure that I was careful with putting in the shadows, because the cross hatching, I didn't want it to get it confused with the web, and then you have the lines for the webs and then the line for the cross hatching, and then it's just a big mess. So I wanted to put in the shadows first to work out where the cross hatching would go, and it worked out really well. I did a lot less shadowing or shading on the parts of the web because I wanted the web to be seen. But I did a lot more shading and shadowing on the blue part of this costume because there's not a lot of webbing there, so it leaves a lot of room for me to kind of like experiment with shadows and cross hatching and where I want the deeper shadows to be without worrying about people confusing the webbing for the shadowing or the webbing for the cross hatching. And then of course, when I color it, I did 3 levels of coloring: the flats, and then I went in with the shading, which is the darker colors to the flat, and then I used a colorless blender to provide highlights, which is what I'm doing right here. And then it came out looking pretty decent, I think. What do you guys think?